Good morning, everybody. Here we are again with Unit 1, North Star, Sports and Obsession. And today we're going to focus in our Zoom meeting on Reading 1. So I assume that all of you already did watch the video for Reading 1, which I gave you last week. And did all the activities in your textbook, as a pre-study. And today our focus is the Zoom meeting, which is the review of the activities and the material, and you can ask me questions. Then after the Zoom meeting, you will go into your post-study, which will be the focus on your ebook, reviewing every learning outcome again. So basically you get it 3 times, Once you go over the activities and learning outcomes in your pre-study, then in your Zoom meeting, and one more time in your ebook, which is your post-study. Okay, cool. Let's straight away start. Reading 1, an interview with Travis Binns. Now, the first thing you see is always the vocabulary. It always is a review or a focus on, because of all the words that you have, these are the first part of the words that we will talk about. And then in Reading 2, you have the other part of the words. And then in the focus on writing, we will review the vocabulary again. Before we jump into this, I'd like you to take a quick look at page 206. Okay, let's go to page 206. Here you see the word list. And we are at Unit 1, Accomplish, Challenge, Complications, Daring, Do or Die, Enormous, Focused, Impressive, Inspire, Obsession, Pressure, Risk, Unthinkable, and Willingness. Okay, these are the words that we are focusing on for reading and writing. Guys, please remember that the vocabulary and grammar for listening and speaking is different from reading and writing, okay? Different book, different vocab, different grammar, don't forget. Okay, awesome. Now, wrong page. Here we can see the grammar for Unit 1, the ability, could be able to, talking about ability using the models, okay? Now that brings us back to the page where we were, page 4, vocabulary. So quick review, we've got challenge here, daring, inspires, focused, impressive, we've got risk, do or die, obsession, and on the next page we've got willingness and unthinkable. Now you are supposed to answer this, figuring out what is the correct synonym or definition for the bold-faced word. Okay, I'm gonna ask you questions. You can freely answer or respond or ask. If, for example, I call out your name and you have a difficulty, you don't know the answer, don't worry. There is nothing is graded right now. You can just say, Miss Sylvie, it was difficult for me. I don't understand it, or I can't answer. I pass. I don't have the answer. No worries. At least you respond, okay? If you really need to go to the toilet, drop in a chat that you're going to the toilet in this Zoom meeting, so I know. Awesome. Let's start with number 1. 1800s, people in Europe enjoy climbing the Alps because the exciting challenge of trying to reach the top. Now, I don't know if any of you has ever been to Europe, but the Alps in Europe are beautiful, breathtaking, amazing. Okay, huge. Okay, who would like to respond to number 1? By the way, has any one of you ever been to Europe?
I have.
Okay, that's so cool. Where did you go?
Germany.
I went to Germany and Switzerland.
Oh, Switzerland has such beautiful mountains. Oh, that's so nice. Yeah. So also when, for example, you would fly, last year when I flew from the Netherlands all the way to Spain, you kind of fly over the Alps. It's beautiful. You see these mountains. If you have clear sky, you can even see them very clearly. Awesome. Okay, number 1. Who would like to respond? Oh, number 1 already. Haha. I've got my glasses on and I still don't realize that the blue circle is already there. Something difficult would be a challenge. Let's go to number 2. Late 1800s, rock climbing develops as a new sport. separate from mountain climbing. Rock climbers begin to attract public attention with their skill and daring. Okay, who would like to tell me what daring is?
May I, miss?
Yes, go ahead.
B, bravery.
Yep, very good. That is bravery. Daring is when you are brave enough to do something. Okay, cool. Number 3, what about that one? 1887, 17-year-old George Winkler inspires others with his successful rock climbing before he's killed by mountain snow. So sad. What is inspires? Budi? Samuel?
Motivates, miss.
Okay, motivates. Okay, who answered just now, Budi or Samuel? I got confused.
Budi.
Okay, thank you for raising your hand. Yeah, make sure that you raise your hand so I can make sure that everybody gets a chance. Okay, we're gonna go to the next one. Number 4, 1910. Some rock climbers focus on developing new equipment that helps people to climb more safely. Okay, go to Dimas.
Giving all your attention to something. A.
Awesome, correct. Number 5, 1918, Emanuel Frubich, such an interesting name, completes the impressive climb of the Wilder Cup, considered all the time to be the most difficult climb in the world. Which is that one? Kaka? Is that correct?
Yeah. Yes.
What is number 5?
Number 5. A,
Yeah.
admiration.
Awesome. Yep. Number 6, 1923. A rating system is developed using numbers to measure the difficulty and risk of climbing a rock. What about number 6? Anyone? Kaka, you want to try number 6? Budi?
Miss.
Yeah?
Number 6 is danger, miss.
Danger. Awesome. Very good. Number 7, 1930s. Rocks with a high rating begin to attract climbers with a do or die attitude toward the sport. What is do or die? Anyone?
Very determined.
Determined.
Yeah, awesome. Very determined. 8, 1955. With an obsession to be the best climber in history, Walter Brunetti spent 6 days climbing the Dru in the French Alps. Obsession?
B. Very strong.
Very
interest
strong.
Or desire.
Yep. Okay, I had Winona come up just now. Just if I'm not mistaken, Winona, can you answer number 9, 1993? Lynn Hill shows willingness to climb without equipment as she free climbs El Capitan in Yosemite. Winona?
I think A, miss.
A willingness means being ready and eager to do something. In the word willingness, we find the word will, so you want to do something. Be ready and eager to do it. Thank you, Winona. 2007, Chris Sharma becomes known as the world's best rock climber as he completes difficult climbs that are unthinkable to the average person. Unthinkable. Who would like to respond to that?
I answer, miss.
Yeah, of course.
My opinion is B. Too scary to consider.
That is correct. Well said. Thank you. Unthinkable, too scary to consider. So basically what we did just now is we were looking at the word or phrase, what the correct definition or synonym was for the word, but at the same time you saw that word used in the context of a sentence. So sometimes we don't know the word, we can basically look at the context, which means all the text that comes before the word and the text that comes after the word, that is called context. Now, by looking at all the information before the word and the information after the word, we can basically figure out what this word means, or you can predict. What you can also do is look at the word unthinkable. The base form of the word unthinkable is think. We have the prefix on, which means not. Able means able to. So we could say that not able to think, or something that is way out there. Yeah, so that can also help to figure out the meaning. So looking at the root of the word, prefix, suffix, this is the prefix, this is the suffix. Or looking at the context, the information before the word and the information at the end or at the back of the word. Any questions? Okay, cool beans. Then we are at previewing. You guys already know what previewing is. In the video, I explained that we do previewing for our audio for listening. We also do previewing for our writing and reading, for our reading, sorry. Yeah. Now, previewing basically for text, we when we preview, we'll look at the title, the title of our text, and if it has headings, like those tiny titles, so subheadings, we look at those two, and from there we annotate, underline, circle, and highlight again on the keywords, and we figure out what type of text this is. Now, looking at this one, an interview with Travis Binns. What type of text is this, guys? Anyone? What type of text is this?
Interview.
Interview, of course, it says it. Dimas, thank you. It's an interview. Yeah. So if you see an interview, very obvious to an interview is that we have the interviewer and the interviewee. So we've got names coming up in those columns. You see that? And answers. So question, answer, question, answer. So an interview. And what do you think, any of you, what do you think the purpose is of an interview?
To collect some information from some person.
Yeah, very good. To get information, to give information. So it's definitely informative, right? Getting and giving information. Very good. Now, knowing that means, and then looking at the title, an interview with Travis Bin. So this is all the information that Travis Bin will give. Now, we can also look at a picture because when we preview, we predict the text type and the purpose. So we already predicted that it is an interview. We already know the purpose, that it is to give information. But now I'd like to know a little bit more about what type of information this text is about. So we can look at either subheadings, which are not in this text though, because it's an interview. But we can also look at pictures. Now, in this case here, we see a picture. I would like to ask Angel Claudia. Angel Claudia, can you tell me what this picture shows us?
A man climbing a rock.
Awesome. So what can we say that probably this text is about? Angel, what is this text about then?
Sport of rock climbing.
Very good. Yeah, cool. So this basically doing your previewing, guys. So you looked at the title. From the title and looking over the text, you can see, okay, the text type is an interview. Second, from there, we can predict this is to get information, give information. And by looking at the visuals, in this case, it's a picture, could be a statistic, could be any visual. From here, we can see that this text is about rock climbing. So I want to get all the information, main information about rock climbing. And probably if it is Travis Binns, maybe he has an experience. So he will probably talk about his experience. This is what you do when you preview. Is that important? Yes. Because this helps you to get ready to read or ready to listen. So in this case right now, I already have my focus correct. And I know what to focus on. I need to focus on every time when Travis Binns, the interviewee, start answering. That's where I have to really take notes on what he's saying. Okay, that's what we do when we preview. In this case, the previewing section asks you to write down 3 questions that you think the interviewer will ask Travis Binns about his sport and life. Wow, that could have been anything. Like, can anyone come up with a question you made for yourself? Any questions? Maybe one question of where he does his rock climbing? Could be a question. What else?
What equipment you use?
Awesome. What equipment he uses for his rock climbing? Anything else? I'd like to hear Ricky Gunawan.
Who is his Inspire.
Who is his?
What was it? Inspire him.
Oh yeah, who
Inspire him.
inspired him to? Awesome. Ricky, can you give me one?
What motivates him?
What motivates him to do it? Awesome. Very good. Now, these are great questions you guys come up with that can set already a focus for your listening, for your reading in this case. Sylvie, you're so mixed up. Yeah. I think I need another cup of coffee. Hey. Aduh. Okay, so having read that, it brings us to the main ideas. Now, so basically, you could look at how your previewing helped you to understand your text. Now, after having done previewing, an important part for you to understand is main ideas. Okay, listen to this. With your journal in mind, in your journal, you have your outline, your paragraph outline. And if you remember your paragraph outline, you have topic sentence, main point, detail, maybe another main point, detail, and a concluding sentence. Now, a main idea, a general main idea, is one sentence that covers the whole text. A main idea is written down in one sentence, and it kind of covers what the whole text is about. In English, in Bahasa, I don't really know, but I would say something like garis besarnya. Yeah, so the general idea is the main idea. The general idea of what the text is about. Where can we find the general main idea in a text? We can find that in the introduction. We find that in the thesis statement. Now, the thesis statement is the last sentence of the introduction. Okay? The last sentence in the introduction is a thesis statement. So I'm just going to go to a random page right now to just visualize this. Makes it a bit easier. Here we have a text about fraud. Now, if we can see here, we have 4 paragraphs, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. The first paragraph is the introduction. The last paragraph is a concluding paragraph, and everything that falls in between are the body paragraphs. Sometimes there is a text that does not include a concluding paragraph. Is that text wrong? No, but that is because sometimes the text, the original text, is really long, can be like 10 or 15 paragraphs, and they just, you know, take a part of it, not the whole text, and that's called an excerpt. That means it's a smaller part of a bigger text, actually, and then sometimes they don't include the concluding paragraph. But basically, the first paragraph is the introduction, the last paragraph is the concluding paragraph, and everything that falls in between those two is called a body paragraph. Now, so the shortest text will always have a minimum of 3 paragraphs, okay? 1 introduction, 1 body, 1 conclusion equals 3. Now, the first sentence of the introductory paragraph can be an overview, a hook, can be to draw the attention of people, to make it interesting, can be a statement, a rhetorical question, anything to draw the attention. And then we have the overview, which can be 2 or 3 sentences that give background information about the topic that is going to be discussed. And the last sentence, and that is only consisting of 1 sentence, which is a statement and called the thesis statement. The last sentence of the introduction is called the thesis statement, and is only 1 sentence. It's not a question, it's a statement. Now, the thesis statement is the general main idea. The thesis statement is the general main idea of the whole text, meaning that the thesis statement holds the general topic that will be discussed and the purpose of what will be discussed about the topic. So the thesis statement is the last sentence of the introduction. It is the general main idea, holds the general topic of the whole text and the purpose, what will be discussed about the topic. So if you're looking for a general main idea, you got to go to the thesis statement. Now, every body paragraph starts with a topic sentence. The first sentence is the topic sentence. The topic sentence you could think of that is like a smaller thesis statement. So we can say that the topic sentence is a sub-main idea, a smaller main idea, because the topic sentence also holds a topic and a purpose. As the thesis statement has the general topic and purpose, the topic sentence has the subtopic and purpose. So it's like a sub-main idea, which introduces what this body paragraph will be about. Now, this main idea, this sub-main idea, is developed by the usage of main points. We can find 2, 3, maybe 4 main points in the body paragraph. And those main points are explained by specific details. So it's the details that expand the main point, and it's the main points that expand the main idea. And then the last sentence is to be the concluding sentence, which is the last sentence of the body paragraph, and it kind of ends the paragraph, concludes it, wraps it up, shows that, hey, this subtopic is finished. Continue with the next. And the same thing you do with the next paragraph. And then you come to the concluding paragraph where you can summarize what the text was about, focusing on the general and main idea, topic sentences, the sub-main ideas, maybe some main points, or you can give a conclusion in the concluding paragraph. You can give a recommendation in some cases there is, and a takeaway. That is a final thought to leave something behind which people will remember. Now, looking at that, that brings us back again to page 5. Okay, that's not a correct number. Okay, page 5, page 6, 7. Brings us back to page 7. That's where we are. Yes. So having explained that, that brings it into perspective that when we're talking about main ideas, that you're basically really looking at main ideas, smaller main ideas, and main points within the text. So are these sub-main ideas or main points true or false? So now, how do we do that? Just now, we went over previewing. Okay, we do that by looking at the title, the subheadings, and the visuals to get the type of text and the purpose. Now, the second skill you need to remember is skimming. When we do skimming, we are aiming to get the main idea of the whole text. So when you skim, what do? You read the introductory paragraph, you read every topic sentence of every body paragraph, and you read the concluding paragraph if there is one. And for only doing that, by only doing that, you can already come up with the main idea of the whole text. Yeah, if you're focusing on the sub-main ideas, then read every topic sentence. Now, if sometimes the main idea is not mentioned in the first sentence, you got to drop down to the second sentence. But 90%, 95%, it will be the first sentence. Okay, let's hear it. Number 1, who wants to answer that one? Vince became more interested in rock climbing after learning about Alex Honnold.
True.
Yep.
True.
Yep, very true. A free solo climber only uses a rope. What about that one?
False.
Oh,
Absolutely false.
yes. Number 3, free solo climbing is not only a physical challenge, but also a mental one. What about that one?
True.
True.
Yes.
True.
4, members of the rock climbing club will climb without ropes.
False.
False. False.
Yep.
Definitely
Alex
false.
Honnold
Wow.
had no chance for university education. Number 5.
False.
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 6 other climbers have been inspired by Alex Honnold.
True.
Cool beans, you guys, awesome. Okay, so that brings us to the next part, which is details. Okay, again, first, main idea. How do we get the main idea again? What do we do? What kind of skill? To get the main idea, we skim, right? Right?
Right.
Yes.
Okay, to find, what do we do? What do we do to find the text type and the purpose? What do we do to figure out, to predict the text type and the purpose? What is that skill called? What skill do we use to predict the text type, and purpose?
Scanning.
This one.
Preview.
Preview. Yeah, awesome. When we preview, we predict the text type and the purpose. Remember that. So the first one is previewing. Very important. Always before you read or before you listen. The second skill, what is the second skill called? That helps us get the main idea. Starts with an S and then a K, not a C. Skim, very good. Second skill is skimming. When we skim, read introduction, topic, sentence, and concluding paragraph, we get the main idea of the text or the text. And another skill is number 3, scan, or also called scanning. When we scan the text, we do not read the text. We just look over the text. We're looking for a keyword. That brings me back to the word annotating. Remember in the video, I already explained what annotating is. You underline, you circle, you highlight keywords. So when you preview, do we use annotating with previewing, guys? Do we use annotating with preview? Do we do keywording?
No.
Yes, we do. Because we're looking here at the keyword interview and Travis Binns. So by previewing, we do look at keywords. Do we use keywords with finding the main idea when we're skimming?
Yes.
Yes. So you underline, circle the keywords in the thesis statement, in the topic sentences, in a concluding paragraph. And by focusing on those keywords, it's very easy for you to come up with the main idea. Now, when we're doing details, looking for details, do we use annotating? Yes. How do we do that? Now, you underline or circle or highlight the keyword in every question. If it's a multiple choice question, you also underline or highlight the keywords in the answer choices. So you annotate the question and the answer choices. This is an open question, so you only annotate the keywords in the question. Then, keeping that keyword in mind or those keywords in mind, you go back to the text. You go back to the text and you scan through it. You look over the text. You don't read it word by word. You're basically just looking for the keyword that you have just annotated. You're looking for the keyword. But miss, I didn't find the same keyword. Yeah, because sometimes they paraphrase. Means they use a synonym. They use a different word with the same meaning. So you don't look for the exact same word, but you kind of look for a keyword that is similar in the meaning as the word that you have just underlined. You go, blah, 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 click, oh, this is the word, or this is the part. And then you find the position. What you do is you read from the beginning of the paragraph, then you read it, up till the paragraph is done, and then you grasp what it means. You see how that answers your question. Okay, that's how we do that. Cool beans. Number 1, what impressed Vince as a child? Who wants to answer that? I want to spin my wheel of fortune. So, I come to Sean. Sean, can you answer that one for me? Mr. Sean?
Yes.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Can you answer number 1? Yeah.
Bin was impressed by his aunt's wedding in Joshua Tree National Park.
Yep. So he was impressed by his aunt's rock climbing wedding. Exactly. That's such a unique wedding to have. Okay. Unbelievable. Never heard of that. But that's a correct answer. Thank you. Number 2, what does Alex Honnold enjoy when a climb is going well? I want to ask Putu Kania, Irene.
The beautiful day.
Awesome. The beautiful day. He enjoys that moment. Yeah. What about number 3? How high is the northwest face? Okay. Of Half Dome in Yosemite National Park. Can Samuel Evan answer that for me? Samuel? Are you present today? No? Okay. I'm going to ask Vanessa. Vanessa, can you answer that for me? Number 3.
It is 2,000 feet.
2,000 feet high. Exactly. Thank you. 4, how many rock climbers complete free solo climbs? And we're talking free solo, people who are not using anything, okay? Super, super scary. Number 4, Kevin, can you answer that?
Yes.
What is
Number
that?
4.
Yeah,
Wait.
no worries.
Less than 1%.
Awesome, that's correct. Okay, we go to number 5. What is an important part of free solo training? Okay, I'm gonna spin my wheel again one more time. First, I come to Cristianto. I do call you Christian or Cristianto or
Alfred.
Alvern. That's cool too. I've never heard of that name. Love your name. Okay, can you answer that one?
Which number?
Number 5.
What is important? Number 5 is be focused and take control of your fear.
Yes, very good. Thank you. Number 6. Why is Alex Honnold free to focus on rock climbing? Okay, that brings me to. Okay, I'm confused with the name. Prakoso. Prakoso.
Yes, miss. Yes.
How do I call you? I'm confused.
Prakoso. Just Prakoso.
Okay, cool.
Prakoso.
Can you answer number 6?
Number 6.
Mm-hmm.
He has no wife or kids to be responsible for.
Yeah, that's a good reason to do something super scary. And he lives in a van. If you read that, can you imagine yourself living in a van? Goodness.
He's living in a van.
Yeah, interesting situation. I met an older friend from mine like several months ago, and well, he's a Westerner, and I asked him, hey, dude, where do you live right now? And he says, oh, I got myself a van. I live in a van. That doing in Europe or in the States, but in Indonesia, apparently some people do that too. Interesting. Okay, that brings us to number 7. How many free solo climbs has Alex Honnold completed? Spinning my wheel again. Clarence, can you answer that for me?
Awesome.
Sorry, I missed you there, man. Can you repeat that? Didn't hear you. Error in connection. Yeah, okay, so I assume you said approximately 1,000 climbs. No worries there. We just continue with number 8. What does Honnold use? Why does Honnold use the nickname Alex No Big Deal? I'd like to hear that from Nicholas.
Okay. Because he's always saying that he's not that great at rock climbing, or he's comparing himself to some idea of the perfect climber.
Yeah, very well explained. Thank you. Yep, correct. Awesome. We continue with inferences. So I'm just reviewing that a bit. Next time I won't. I will be asking you to tell me what it means. Now, inferences, remember, you're making an educated guess. You're looking at the facts in the text and you're combining all the facts. And from looking at those facts that have been stated, you can come up with a conclusion. That is making inferences. So basically, you look at the underlying meaning. Okay, underlying meaning, not the explicit meaning, but the implied meaning. That means it is not stated, yet it is there. How do we know it then? If it's not stated, how do we know? Well, we know it because we look at the context and the facts that have been mentioned. If I would tell you, oh, guys, I have a headache, I feel feverish, I feel weird, and you probably say, Miss Sylvie, you're sick. I didn't say I was sick, but you concluded from hearing my facts that I'm sick. So that is basically inference, okay? You dig a little bit deeper to get the underlying meaning. Okay, number 1, I think the number of free solo climbers is less than 1%, something like that. Now we saw here that it is about certainty and not certainty. being very certain or not. Now, in this case, we can know when a statement is certain from the way it is stated. For example, the vocabulary that is used, the phrase, the clause, or the sentence can infer and show us how certain someone is. Now, if it is in an audio, you can hear it from how it is pronounced, from the intonation going up, the intonation going down. That shows how certain someone is, and the emphasis, yeah, that they use on words and syllables. But in writing, we can see it from, because we can't hear, right? So in a writing, in a text, we can see it from the words that are used and phrases. Like, for example, I think, I guess, probably, most likely, maybe, something like that. That definitely shows the person is not really certain. If the person is certain, then they're very strict in their answers. The answers are more shorter and, yeah, really clear that they know. Okay, we go back to number 1. Who would like to answer number 1? Is that A or B? A or B?
B.
Yeah. Not certain, exactly. We go to number 2. You're in a situation where fear, okay, that one is for Budi. You're in a situation where fear can come up in 1 second. Complete and total fear. You've got to stay in control. What is that? A or B?
My opinion is A, very certain.
Yeah, that's correct. Budi, it's very certain. If you talk like that, that's very certain, because there's nothing like, I think, I guess, maybe, it might, it would, it could. And I don't know, it's like really a statement, clearly stated, so very certain. Okay, now let's look at number 3. People like Alex make us all try harder to push our limits. Who would like to answer that one? Kaka?
That is also very certain.
Yep, very certain. What about number 4? Maybe he's comparing himself to some idea of the perfect climber. I don't know. Who would like to do that one?
Not certain. Not certain.
Not certain. Not certain.
Awesome. Yes, not certain. I'm sure Alex's parents have had their moment of worry. Can I ask that? I want to ask Nathan. Nathaniel, Robert, Nathan. I call you Nathan, is that correct? Are
Yes.
you in the house? Okay, Nathan, can you answer that one for me?
What number? I
Number
forgot.
5. Number 5.
Not certain.
Yeah. Well, actually, that is very certain. I'm sure, because he says, I am sure. Means he is certain. Okay?
Sorry. It's very certain. I misread it.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you very much. What about number 6? But at the same time, I think they probably raised him to value his freedom. Who would like to respond to that? Actually, I want to ask Gisela. Oh, Budi, you're so fast. Gisela, are you in the house?
Number 6. Not
Yes.
certain.
Not certain. Thank you. I love it how you guys answer. And there's several of you who answer all the time. It's really cool. But I'm also happy to hear other people who are more quiet. Yeah. Okay, we've come to the point of expressing opinions, which means that we're reasoning. Learning to reason, learning to analyze concepts, ideas, thinking about it, reflecting, you know, like, why is that way? Why not this way? How could it be different? You know, like reasoning. And then coming up with your opinion, but then being able to state that respectfully, and then developing your opinion with reasons. And then going 1 step further, first you say your opinion, and you develop that with reason, and then maybe you're even able to explain what your opinion or that idea results into, or how it could affect people or circumstances, and what effect it can have. Now, let's just focus on opinion first. Number 1, what do you think of Alex Honnold's ability to enjoy the beautiful day? Enjoy the beautiful day while doing a free solo climb. Underlining that a free solo climb is climbing a huge mountain without any rope or anything. So if you make one mistake, You slip, you drop, you fall, you die. Basically, that's it, okay? How would you feel? Does anybody want to respond to that? So this guy says he enjoys a beautiful day while he's risking his life. What do you think of that? Dimas?
No, miss. It's false. It's false, quick.
Okay. So what about, I would like to ask Maria. Maria Katharina? Maria, are you here? No? Kevin, could you respond? What do you think of number 1?
Hello.
Hi, Kevin. Could you respond?
Number 1, express opinion.
Yeah.
Wait. He's very brave. I would feel very frightened.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so would I. And can you tell me why you would be afraid, or why would you be frightened?
Because I don't really like heights.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And what
So-
about this free solo thing? Would you ever want to try that? No, I don't
No.
think so. If you have fear of heights, then you don't even want to climb one, not even with a rope, let alone without one. All right, thank you. Number 2, people, do you agree that people who choose to take physical risks are selfish? Let's think about free solo climbing, bungee jumping, maybe you want to jump out of an airplane. Anything that is physically has a big risk. Do you guys think that is selfish, or is that not? Ricky, I'd like to hear you. Can you respond to number 2?
Some people are selfish, but others are not selfish. They do that for fun and for experience.
Okay. Well, if, for example, Ricky, you were gonna do something like a physical sport that has a physical risk, do you think you're being selfish? And tell me why or why not.
No, I don't think I'm being selfish because I want to do it. Either it's fun or I just want the experience to do it.
Okay, so you don't think that is a problem. Some people, thank you, Ricky. Some people might think that it is selfish because if something were to happen and you were to die, for example, then you leave behind family. Yeah. Again, opinion is different for everyone. Let's move on to the last one, number 3. What do you think of Alex Honnold's decision to drop out of UC Berkeley? That's a university, and focus on rock climbing. Do you think he will regret that decision, yes or no? Dimas, would you like to answer that?
Yes, miss.
Go ahead.
Okay, so based on my point of view, that every human being has their own way to get their happiness. Like we can see Alex Honnold. We know that solo rock climbing is very dangerous and do or die attitude. But from there, he only can get his own happiness from the solo rock climbing. But in other side, many people say that you are too selfish. And they said, why you are not grateful to get a good school in UC Berkeley? But in Alex Honnold, he has their own way to get his happiness. So we can't say that all people only can get their happiness because they go to good school or they get a bachelor or master in university. That's not. It's based on their own self, because every single human being has their own way to get their own happiness.
Way to go. I give you 2 thumbs. Very, very good. Thank you, Dimas. Well stated. Yeah, and so we can see that every opinion or viewpoint is different. And like you said, Dimas, that should be respected, right? Because everybody sees it in a different way. And that's why it is also very important that whenever you come up with your opinion, that you always are respectful towards your own, but also towards other people's opinions. Yeah. Reasoning is not that you always have to just say it. Sometimes we want to express the opinion. Sometimes we just keep it to ourselves. but it is very good that you reason, that you think about what happens in your life, but also in the world around you, to better understand and to have a broader view of things. Awesome. That brings us to the end of our lesson today. Real quick before I end the lesson, I'm going to point something out to you, which is our Unit 1 schedule, which I already updated for you, added it for you. Here you can see that everything is already divided. So the first column gives us the weeks and then the dates and then the Zoom meetings. Those are the meetings that we have through Zoom. And then the last column is what you will do at home. So basically you can see, we go to the week, which is our week right now, is week 3, this one. Then we see that the Zoom meeting focuses on reading 1. For this week, you're supposed to do step 3 of your project, which is the focus on researching for your journal, for your paragraph. Last week was research for your speaking test, for your log. Now it's research for your writing, for your journal. Your post-study after this meeting, so this week until the next Zoom meeting comes, you will have to do your post-study, which is activities in section reading 1 of your ebook of R&W, and that is reading and writing. So you will do the activities, which is only one activity, in section reading 1 of your ebook reading and writing. Your pre-study, which you will also do this week up till before the next Zoom meeting, you will do your pre-study, which is watching the video, listening to, Unit 1, listening to, and you will do the activities in your textbook, the textbook of listening and speaking, LNS, listening and speaking. So this is your focus for this week. So if you're confused, Miss Sylvia, I don't know, what am I supposed to do this week? What is my post-study this week? What is my pre-study this week? So my post-study for the Zoom meeting and my pre-study for next week's Zoom meeting, right? Basically like that. Just look at your schedule, look at the week, and here you see what your focus is. Miss, what were the dates again? Now, you scroll down, you can see here in the 8th week, 7th September until the 11th of September, depending on when you will have your Zoom meeting with me. This is what you need to submit and when. In this week of the 7th to the 11th of September, you have to submit all this and we will do these tests, okay? Basically like that. Here it also shows the pre-study is the video and textbook activities, not graded. The Zoom meeting is a review of the material activities, Q&A, question and answer, and not graded. And then you have your post-study, which is your ebook activities. Those are graded, okay? Cool. Do you guys have any questions about that? Cool beans then. Okay, I will see you again next week. Take care. God bless you. And remember, stay excited to learn, okay? Okay, bye-bye, guys.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Miss.
Miss.
Thank you, Miss.
Bye.
Thank you, Miss. God bless you.